Hi, this is Thomas Pomasa. This is my case study on Ciba's acquisition of allied colloids. What caused allied colloids to become a takeover target? There were a lot of things that allied colloids had that other companies wanted. One, it was a reputation of being the world-class specialty chemical company with leading-edge technology and research in polymers. They also had a history of organic growth within the last 2 years especially. Their effective profit improvement programs have shown to be very effective. And their recent acquisitions of CPS, a US company, and MDEX Chemicals, an Australian company. How did Ciba value the gains from the merger? Well, they added value to their specialty portfolio by acquiring allied colloids. They became more diverse. They also obtained leading-edge technology and research that allied colloid had been working on. They also had growing revenue in their water treatment market, which is something they didn't have before. They also have an additional customer base now, since they have acquired all of allied colloids customers. What effect did the acquisition have on Ciba's balance sheet and performance? It adversely affected their balance sheet. It had a decrease in cash and cash equivalents from 644 million Swiss francs in 1997 to a lesser amount of 206 million Swiss francs in 1998. They also had an increase in long-term debt from 294 million in 1997 to about 3,600 million Swiss francs in 1998. They also had an increase in interest expense from 149 million Swiss francs in 1997 to about 353 million in 1998. In contrast to their balance sheet, Ciba's performance actually did quite well. Their sales in additives grew by 14%. Their sales in consumer care products grew by 18%. Their performance polymers grew by 23%. Their pigments grew by 22%. Their textile dyes grew by 21%. And overall, their gross profit increased to 2,500 million Swiss francs. Who won and who lost in this transaction? Well, the winners of this transaction includes executives from allied colloids. Rumor has it that if Hercules would have won the bidding war, the executives and the management team would have been fired. Also, the shareholders of allied colloids had gained from this transaction. Due to the high price that Ciba paid for allied colloids, their share price was up quite a bit. And also, Ciba had gained from this transaction. They've gained the research and technology improvement that alloy had to offer. They also gained new market shares in a water treatment market that they didn't have before. Also, similar specialty companies in the UK had gained from this. The high price that Ciba paid had increased their share price as well as new companies look to acquire companies in the UK. The losers of this transaction includes Hercules for not winning the bidding war, and they weren't able to obtain the technological improvements and research that allied colloids had. And lastly, the loser would also be Ciba, because they paid a little too much for it. The goodwill was close to 3 million, between 2 and 3 million of goodwill. How is Ciba after the acquisition of allied colloids? After the acquisition, Ciba had realized that they had a lot of overlapping departments. They had to implement an effective asset management team. In 1999, Ciba had more gains in their balance sheet. In 2008 to 2009, Ciba was acquired by BASF, aka the chemical company, for 6.1 billion Swiss francs.